West of France. And David Silva, who finished 14th in the world after finishing runner-up to Jack Robinson in Mexico. So the real story.
Self and off the situation. Today it does. Today you just focus on the ocean. You don't worry about anything else.
David Silva just got signed by Kelly Slater Surfboards. So fresh equipment for another great season on tour. Connor O'Leary finding a connection there. He's been really loving some mayhems lately, as he's been finding some really fresh surfboards under his feet. He's got that kind of freeless feet feeling that he knows next year is going to be a great one.
Ooh.
Coming into a hack from Igarashi. The guy is a machine. He'll kick off with a fun number for that turn.
Just a good bloke.
Right.
He's just down to earth, kind of comes across with that simple nature, but inside there's a fire and a determination. And then you look at the style and the class of the way he surfs, and he'll be in good stead there on that world tour.
Congrats again to his coach Jay Thompson, and he'll be joining his good buddy Morgan Siblick on tours. We've got Vasco Ribeiro from Portugal. Not cleaner, but we knew by all the buoy readings that it was just going to be building throughout the day. There's some wild ones coming through with now a little over 20 on the clock. We'll see that strong stance of Connor O'Leary with a big knife off the top. Nice carve, finding a small inside pocket. It's interesting, you've got to find something to work with when it's pretty wild at sea. We're talking about gigantic.
Because I remember the day being here, and it was one of these sorts of days. You could add 5 feet to it, and we were looking to it, and it was just out of control. And I was here with the great Brock Little, and we were sitting on the bench. And he said, we should go out. And oh, hold on, we'll get to the story in a minute. Well, it's a closeout anyway. So Brock, he goes, we should go out.
No, Haleiwa, watch out.
Oh, we love those stories. Unbelievable. When you talked about the hard charging Brock Little, as we look at a big snap on a big section from David Silva. He is so spring-loaded in small surf, but take, as we look at 16 minutes remaining in the final heat of the day, we'll see a wild takeoff, and controlling it is Connor O'Leary. Just getting himself down the line. There's the section, cracks it there, right into a bottom turn, drills the lip again. I love the patience out of Connor. Didn't try to rush.
The hard part will be to elevate his score. He's going to have to get some bigger waves.
Exactly, and it looks like he kind of had that in mind. And he just, like you said, Joey, too, he had to be patient, didn't he? Look how long. But you're better off riding that thing all the way through to the inside and paddling back out rather than cutting off halfway. Once you've committed to a wave, you're committed regardless.
Really wanting him to get some bigger sections. He'll stay in third. Now with an opportunity setting up for Kanoa Igarashi, silver medalist at the Olympic Games. Gets a one maneuver section, laying incredibly low. His opener was a single turn that got him a 4.5. Kanoa, multiple-time US Open champ, raised in Huntington Beach. Kanoa waiting for that number. We've got Vasco now. Vasco has a couple of 4-rangers in his lead. Left searching for, and it always shrinks the size when you watch it from this angle. Those waves are gigantic. That section was an absolute beast that Zeke went down on earlier this morning. David Silva in motion, hanging on to the second spot. 4.93 and a 3.27 got this wave during the break, as he's trying to hang on to an advancing spot for the quarterfinals. Also getting involved in this exchange, Connor O'Leary, Barton.
Drives off the bottom, beautiful snap. Could this be the highest scoring wave of the heat? It definitely looks like the best wave, Ross. Beautiful, clean face.
I love that. Wow. Amazing top to bottom, right? Or bottom to top, I should say. Really good bottom turn, straight into smooth carb. So, yeah, for sure, BL. He's got a 3.
I can't think of people who you think are better than him. He's right up there with the very best. How low did he get and compress into that turn? And look at this smooth face. He found a diamond in the rough and did the work he needed to do to go into first place.
Yeah, I think he was done fiddling around at the indoors, and he just drifted a little further out. And geez, that wave was perfect. It was clean and glassy.
Kanoa Igarashi just has that look where he's waiting, stalling, finding a good section, hooks it right there. Clean frontside wrap. Finds a good section to lay down an aggressive carve through the lip all the way to the bottom. Really cool. 2016, now 3 finishes inside the top 10 in the world. Ross, what was your first reaction here?
Well, I mean, first of all, Haleiwa is the kind of wave that suits Kanoa surfing. You think about, you know, he won a CT at Karamas. There's some parallels between that wave and this wave. So he likes those big sections. He's also very smart. He reminds me of Adriano de Souza, where he always chooses that maneuver that he knows he's going to land. But on top of that, BL, he's just got great technique.
Absolutely, and there's that difference between certain people, and you see it with Jong Jong, you see it with Kanoa, and that's that speed and the sharpness that they bring to every turn. Everything is so sharp, so precise that it's undeniable, and thinking it reminds me of Mick Fanning. Talking to what you just...
Championship Tour, 76 heat wins, 1 career CT win that he had at Karamas over legendary surfer Jeremy Flores. Big snap there from Connor O'Leary, drops to the bottom, huge bottom turn and a classic backhand arc. That's going to support his total out in front. Exchange continues with Igarashi. He'll just reposition now.
Yeah.
Buoys spiking and more cleanup steps on the way. We'll get back to this one though. Connor's last wave, Barton.
Drives out of the top, goodbye 367, that's for sure. And he timed that last turn perfectly, didn't it? He didn't want to hit the lip. He wanted to make sure he got that nice round arc and got down before the whitewater clipped him, so he managed that perfectly. And there's that backhand vertical throwing spray up into the sky.
He's a big kid, which doesn't hurt, right? He's 6'2", probably weighs 190 pounds, I'm guessing, something like that, and be with 4 minutes to go.
Big wide open wall for Igarashi, hard off the bottom, snap to slide, he'll control it. Rock and roll off the lip, springing into the lip again, and his foot came off for a moment. You can tell he's trying to add something extra to that last turn.
That was a big call from Vasco.
Back to this wave for Kanoa, Barton.
Oh, steep, and the way he held that rail, you saw the rail disconnect for that moment in the whitewater. This is such a difficult wave to surf. He did it so good. Let's have a look at what he tries to put a little rock and roll in there at the top and try to tweak it out. The front foot left the board and it was almost disastrous.
Well, we talked about how he got that CT, that big CT win at Karamas, and he did it with these kind of moves right here. Watch this little hit float. Again, it reminds me of Adriano. So he's adding just a little bit of spray, rock and roll, like you said, BL, just to like get some hang time up there to make a relatively tame move look a little more critical. Again, Kanoa is just so smart.
Great rhythm there for Kanoa, and getting a chip in here. It might come down to this for Vasco. 22 seconds. Needs a 6.83.
Needs something outside, Joey. Without a big turn outside, he's not getting the score.
Coming into this inside part of the wave, he'll jam that turn with the best of his ability and saves the finish with a very hard-working combo. Kanoa Igarashi now with some speed to burn at the buzzer. Quick whip there as he's trying to protect second from Vasco Ribeiro as we close out heat number 8. Vasco needing a 6.83. Is that a bit of a stretch?
5 minutes where he got swept by that set and had to go back around.
Absolutely.
We'll watch Kanoa's wave as he was looking to protect second, Barton.
Nice face in front of him. I love the last turn here. He just whips it up like a karate chop. Yeah! And pulls it back down.
So quick, and that top turn was so clean with so much flow. Great 2-turn combo, and this is the last of Vasco Ribeiro as he was hoping for a spot in the quarters, Ross.
Well, I mean, it was just a funky, small double-up, but, you know, he threw down a couple nice turns, which was cool. He got BL to hoot right here. This turn right here is a pretty gnarly section, and he schwacks it, so it's going to be a little bitter for Vasco. He's so close.
Qualification, David Silva gets knocked as well as Connor O'Leary and Kanoa Igarashi move on into the quarterfinals. That's it for competition today. Coming up next, the Michelob Ultra Pure Gold Post Show to wrap up a lot of action.